If you've ever Googled, "Why am I tired all the time?" while lying in bed at 2 p.m. holding an empty Red Bull can, if you've thought, "Hey, maybe I'll get to the gym tomorrow," every day since 2019, or if you've been putting off scheduling your own blood test because that sounds exhausting, then it's time we had the talk. Not that talk, the other one. The one where we gently explain that you might be running on fumes because your testosterone levels have tanked harder than the crypto market. Testosterone isn't just the man hormone, it's the metabolic CEO of your body. It's the difference between staring at the gym and dominating the gym. Between "I could do that" and "I already did that before breakfast." And today, we're breaking down the real, hidden, brutally underrated advantages of testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, all with real data, science-backed wins, and enough snark to keep you awake even if your tea is still scraping the floor. Let's start with one thing you definitely don't have right now: energy. Energy levels. You're not tired, you're testosterone deficient. Let's cut the niceties. You're not lazy, you're biologically compromised. Low testosterone sabotages your mitochondria, the very power plants of your cells. That means your gas tank is always on E, even if you've been sipping green juices and meditating with a productivity podcast in the background. But when TRT kicks in, oh buddy, the lights come back on, literally and metaphorically. Suddenly, you're waking up before your alarm. You're standing up without groaning. You start doing insane things like mowing the lawn voluntarily or reorganizing your sock drawer at 6 a.m. for fun. You go from "I need 3 coffees and a prayer to function" to "I crushed legs and did my taxes before noon." Here's the science. TRT restores ATP generation in mitochondria, improves oxygen delivery to muscle tissue, enhances overall metabolic output. That's nerd speak for you feel alive again, like you're plugged into a charging port the size of a Tesla supercharger. Downside? You might become that guy, the one who's too peppy at 7 a.m. and starts sentences with, "You know what's crazy about lion's mane? Libido and sexual function. The resurrection." Let's be honest, when your testosterone is low, your sex drive is basically a haunted house. Abandoned, echoey, and haunted by the ghost of erections past. But once TRT enters the chat, you go from meh to "move over, I just reordered the entire Kama Sutra alphabetically." TRT doesn't just flick the libido switch back on, it rips the circuit board out and replaces it with a car battery. Blood flow increased, sensitivity revived, confidence restored. You suddenly remember what it feels like to flirt without sweating. Let's talk data. Clinical studies show that TRT consistently improves erectile function, libido, and satisfaction. It increases nitric oxide availability, a fancy way of saying your blood flow finally has GPS again. Most men report not just performance gains, but a renewed desire, like the mental side wakes up too. And yes, there's a downside. You might now look at your partner like a protein bar you're about to unpeel. Just try not to scare them. Mood and mental health. The anti-sulk serum. Low T doesn't just make you tired and frumpy. It turns you into a sad, foggy potato. Mood swings, irritability, lack of drive, classic signs of hypogonadism that are often misdiagnosed as depression or anxiety. TRT, however, it's not an antidepressant, but it's a massive hormonal missing piece of the puzzle. Studies show that men on TRT report lower rates of depressive symptoms, better emotional regulation, and a miraculous ability to not lose their mind over minor inconveniences like tangled earbuds. You stop weeping during shampoo commercials. You stop texting your ex after leg day. You stop staring into the fridge for 12 minutes wondering if life has a point. Biochemically, TRT improves serotonin and dopamine signaling, which are your brain's feel-good messengers. You actually start enjoying stuff again, even boring stuff like spreadsheets or laundry. The side effect? You might start giving unsolicited advice to other tired dudes at the gym. Hey man, have you ever had your T levels checked? Bro, I'm just trying to curl in peace. Muscle mass and strength, the comeback of the century. You know how your muscles used to grow in your 20s just by walking past a gym? Yeah, that stops when your testosterone levels crash harder than a pre-workout junkie on a caffeine detox. Low T turns your body into a catabolic couch. Every time you skip a workout, it's like your gains file a resignation letter. Dear biceps, it's been real. I'm moving to Dad Bod Valley. TRT doesn't just reverse that, it gives your muscles a presidential pardon. Here's what happens. Testosterone stimulates muscle protein synthesis, so your body actually does something with all that grilled chicken you're shoveling in. Increases IGF-1, a growth factor that helps you rebuild and recover faster. You don't just lift weights, you absorb them. More strength, more size, less soreness, better pumps, actual motivation to hit leg day. Well, almost. The downside? You now have to buy new shirts every 3 months. And yes, your friends will ask if you're on something. Just look them in the eye and say, I'm on life, Greg. Fat loss. Goodbye, love handles. Low testosterone is like a VIP pass to storing belly fat. It slows down your metabolism, increases insulin resistance, and makes your body really good at hoarding fat like it's prepping for winter. TRT flips that hard. It boosts lipolysis, science for breaking down fat for energy, especially the visceral kind that sits around your organs, making you feel like a microwaved burrito. You'll notice pants fit better, abs peek through again, your face slowly morphs from accountant back to action figure. Even better, TRT makes your body prefer building muscle to storing fat, so your physique starts shifting gears like it's on fast forward. Biggest side effect? You start flexing at random mirrors, store windows, microwaves, anything reflective, really. And yes, you might post a shirtless selfie captioned, just vibing. Sleep quality, from tossing and turning to snoring like a king. Low testosterone turns your nights into a horror film. Scene 1, you fall asleep scrolling. Scene 2, wake up at 2:41 a.m. for no reason. Scene 3, you lie awake contemplating your middle school failures. Scene 4, alarm rings. You feel like you've been hit by a truck. Enter TRT, and your sleep architecture starts looking like a 5-star hotel blueprint. You sleep deeper, longer, and actually wake up feeling like a functioning adult. REM sleep increases, cortisol chills the hell out, and your body finally enters that magical hormone repair mode at night. What's the big deal about sleep and testosterone? T is secreted during sleep, especially in the REM stages. More sleep equals more T. More T equals better sleep. Better sleep equals less anxiety, faster recovery, and fewer random 3 a.m. Googlings of, why am I tired but awake? The only risk? You might start dreaming so vividly, you wake up mad at your partner for something they did in the dream. Cognitive function, the brain fog evaporator. Low T gives you the brain power of a cracked iPhone with 7 tabs open. You forget names, you reread sentences 5 times, you walk into a room and forget why you're there. TRT doesn't make you Einstein, but it gets rid of the fog, like someone finally turned the lights on in your frontal cortex. Studies show improved verbal memory, spatial awareness, and processing speed in men with low T who go on therapy. Increased dopamine and acetylcholine activity equals better attention span. Plus, less mental fatigue equals fewer naps in your car pretending you're just meditating. TRT can help you focus on tasks, remember why you opened that damn tab, actually finish a book, not just buy it and stack it next to your supplements. The downside? Your newfound sharpness might lead to unrelenting judgment of everyone else's brain fog. Confidence, motivation, and quality of life. The renaissance of you. Let's be honest, low testosterone doesn't just hit your body, it hijacks your soul. You stop chasing goals, you ghost the gym, you forget what it feels like to walk into a room and feel like you belong there. TRT is the emotional equivalent of switching from dial-up to fiber optic. Suddenly, you wake up with a purpose. You text people back. You actually start and finish the side hustle you've been sitting on since 2020. Testosterone is deeply linked with dopamine, motivation, and the feeling that your life isn't just a series of beige-colored obligations. It reignites that internal fire, the one that gets you to work out, call your mom, floss your teeth, and maybe even join a jiu-jitsu class like you've been threatening to do since 2019. And let's not ignore confidence. Not cockiness, not Alpha Bro podcast energy, but real, grounded, magnetic self-assurance. The kind that makes you speak up in meetings, ask for that raise, go on that date without panic Googling good questions to ask if you're scared and awkward. The truth is, low T makes you dull your edges. TRT sharpens them. Not to become someone else, but to become who you were before life wore you down. And the best part? This isn't about becoming a superhero. It's about feeling human again. TRT isn't a magic pill. It won't solve all your problems. You still have to eat like an adult, move your body, sleep like it matters, and probably go to therapy. But for men struggling with legit low T, it can be a lifesaver. It's your comeback arc, your second wind, your real life new game plus mode. So yeah, testosterone might not be everything, but if yours is scraping the floor like a dropped barbell, fixing it can change everything else. Roll credits, inject comedy, insert gym montage. And fade out to the sound of a fully grown man humming Eye of the Tiger.